Welcome back to the pregame show. The RoughRiders hosting the Northwest Arkansas Naturals for a 3-game series, and I'm joined by RoughRiders starting pitcher Kevin Pucetas. Kevin, your first year here with the Texas Rangers organization, past the halfway point now. How do you feel about your first half of the season in a Texas Ranger system?
It's been good. I'm extremely thankful that they've, given me the opportunity to start. I've been able to take that ball every fifth day, and I feel as though we've been playing pretty good baseball up to this point. We've had a couple, little bumps in the road. This past series, getting swept for the first time, and I think over, a little over a year. That was certainly tough to swallow. But we've got a team coming in right now that, we know very well. We played very well, and we're confident we can right the ship.
Well, you say that you're thankful that they've allowed you to start here. Really, you've been one of the few consistent starters in the rotation. It's been a kind of a mixed bag over the course of the year, and a couple guys in Nick McBride and Tyler Tufts that weren't expected to be starters that have been. Has that given you some added pressure, knowing that you got to go out there and eat innings with guys that aren't necessarily expected to be starters in the rotation and have been mainstays there?
I take a lot of pride in that from the get-go. That's something I really want to do. I want to go deep in the ball games. Save my bullpen, and I want to pick up as many decisions as I can. And I think I don't think I've had no decisions as a starter this year so far. So I'm getting the decisions, which means I'm sticking around late in the game. And like I said, that's something that I just really, really, really take pride in as a professional. Is just to go out there, give my team a chance to win each and every night I take the ball, and that's the most important thing for me.
You bring up the no decisions. You just had one as a reliever and just had your first one a couple nights ago, and it took 3 unearned runs really to make that happen. You were in line for the win before that. Probably your best start since May when you went out there on Thursday, 6 2/3 innings. Again, both runs unearned against you, and you got a good number of ground balls, which was a recipe for success for you early in the year. What were you able to find in that start that made you successful and kind of brought you back to where you were in April and May?
Well, June, wasn't the best month for me. I've been working really hard on the side sessions with Doc Andrews, just trying to, get a little bit more consistent. We made a couple tweaks, as far as little mechanical and delivery things, and now I'm starting to see some of the benefits from that extra work on the side. He's helped me out tremendously. And this last start was kind of one of those starts where I wasn't thinking so much about the mechanic part of it, where I was thinking about, hey, let's execute the pitches, let's get the outs, and, just keep the ball rolling throughout the course of the game. It was a tough one to lose, but, we've been working hard every day, and I'm just trying to get back to that May and June shape.
Here with the starting pitcher Kevin Pucetas, and it really was a good night for you. One of the few blemishes was your pickoff attempt at second base sailed on you a little bit. Looked like it might have slipped out of your hand. Now, Wilder Rodriguez came over, the shortstop, and he had a big smile on his face. When he left, you had a grin as well on your face. I'm sure you're a little frustrated when it happened, but seemed to have a smile when he left. We've seen those kinds of visits from G-Rod a lot this year, coming out and talk with the pitchers, maybe the most frequent visitor, whether he's playing first, second, third, or shortstop. What does he say to the guys when he comes down?
I think it depends on the guy.
What did he say to you, I guess?
Actually, it's funny what he said to me, because he came up to me. He's like, yeah, man, okay, we still got 2 outs. He's like, that's, my fault on that one right there. I kind of deked you a little bit. He said, did you have a different grip? I said, well, yeah, I had a slider grip. And he's like, okay, and then left. But what I was really thinking was, you've got so much pine tar on the inside of your glove that it stuck to my hand. I mean, I don't think I've ever zooted a ball that bad. It was like 30 feet to the right of second base. So hopefully everyone, that was watching, and everybody up in the booth knew exactly what happened there. I had some pine tar that got stuck on my palm and just kind of shot-putted that thing into center field.
Going back to that start as well, you were really able to stick with your normal mix that you've had over the course of your career. I think a lot of us expected to see a few more knuckleballs out of you, something that you had done more the previous 2 starts, especially your most recent start before that. And talked with Tomas Talis a little bit before the game. He said he was expecting you to throw it a lot more. You didn't really need to throw that pitch. Was that why we didn't see it more? Did you not have a great feel for it? What was your thought process in using that pitch on Thursday?
It is such a hard pitch to be able to master when you are still a conventional pitcher. We've got a lot of season left, and I still want to be as productive as I can as far as being able to eat innings, for our pitching staff. And that's just a real tough pitch to kind of keep a consistent feel on when you're not throwing it a whole lot. Talisa actually called it a lot early in the game, and I shook it off because it's a nothing ball game, 1-2 run ball game, it's kind of hard to throw in a fifth best pitch, when you don't have a lot of feel in a big situation. I really want the team to succeed and the team to win, as well as my own personal success, but that's a tough pitch to throw in, especially when the hitters are in offensive counts and everything like that, when it's such a close game early. So I shook off a lot early with it, but managed to bring it in 5 or 6 times, just in more or less, non-pressure situations, 2 outs, nobody on base, or in the right count, just to kind of preserve that lead is where my mindset was. Plus I had, pretty good fastball command that day, and that was one of my strongest, pitches going, so I wanted to stick with my strength.
Here with starting pitcher Kevin Pucetas as the Riders get ready to take on the Naturals today. And Alex mentioned on the air during the last road trip that you had a chance to pick the brain of Dickey a little bit about the knuckleball as well. How was that conversation? What did he tell you? And how did that whole thing come about? How did you get the chance to do that?
It was very beneficial. RA gave me a telephone call, and actually was hooked up with him through Goose, our senior pitching advisor with the Rangers, Mark Carner, and he mentioned that he had worked with RA in the past, and maintained a good relationship with him, and he said that he was sure that RA wouldn't mind talking to kind of an aspiring knuckleballer, such as myself. And he called me and we had about a 30-minute conversation, just talking a little bit about the craft of the knuckleball and how to kind of put the reins on it a little bit, and how to learn how to control it. And we talked about my grip and my mindset with it, and overall approach, which was awesome hearing that kind of stuff from a defending Cy Young winner and a guy who has shown that, hey, you can pitch a long time in the big leagues with this pitch if you can somewhat harness it a little bit. He said there is no mastering it, it's only harnessing it, on a daily basis, which I know it's going to be a difficult challenge, but one I'm ready for. And hopefully maybe I can really refine that craft maybe this winter, and hopefully get another job next year, maybe exclusively as a knuckleball pitcher.
Now, you told me earlier this year you're the oldest of 11 children in your family. Any of your brothers aspiring knuckleballers asking you about the pitch? Have you taught any of them that yet?
Actually, I've got some younger brothers that probably have stronger arms than I do, which is pretty sad. So I've always thrown it to them in the yard, and they always are like, "Good night." That thing it's freaky looking. 12 and 15-year-old kids. You don't see that a whole lot, but they would always ask me, hey, can you teach me how to throw that? And I said, wait till you get a little older. But I was like, it's kind of one of those things. It's the last resort, and sometimes it's the only resort. So it's kind of a real fickle pitch. But the both of them that play baseball in my family still, John and Adam, they both have hopefully bright, brilliant careers ahead of them. Like I said, they're probably way more talented than I was at that age. I was a little bit of a late bloomer. So hopefully they don't have to go that route anytime soon.
All right, well, thanks a lot for your time. You had a good start last time. Hopefully you can build off of that. Good luck here the rest of the year.
Hey, great. Thanks.
That was Kevin Pucetas. We'll be back with more on the Frisco RoughRiders Baseball Network.